how I made my first acrylic keychain with shrinky dinks and art tags. But first, unboxing time! This is the first time I'm using these water-based acrylic art tags markers, and as you can see, I was really excited. It came with labels as well, and I had a blast sticking them. It was actually quite therapeutic. They actually recommend you to store the markers standing upright, giving you a very pretty box to go with it, but I wanted to store them in my pen storage for easy access. Hopefully it won't affect them too much. Next, I make sure to do a color chart, and I tried to make the colors flow smoothly for easier referencing as well. I decided to use one of my sketches from my birthday donathon, and I thought that having my cat Muffy as a keychain would be cute. First time laying down the colors here, and I was surprised how it adheres to the plastic so well. I really didn't have to worry about the ink sticking to itself. This was my very first try, and I really should have outlined everything first so it's easier to see, so I just did it here instead. I really liked that the marker was very smooth and buttery on this plastic. It was also very easy to cover up mistakes or last minute design changes like Muffy face print here. I also tried blending the colours, but I noticed it's not really immediately obvious once it's shrunk, so I didn't bother afterwards. Block colours are actually more than sufficient for shrink plastic. I did about 2 layers of ink for each portion, and the colour chart really came in handy because the ink looks very different when it's wet versus dried on this shrink plastic. Once done, I punched a hole for the keychain hole and trim it to size, making sure there's sufficient gaps for the plastic to shrink to. I almost forgot about her whiskers! Cannot forget! I also decided to do a background for the words, but doing it behind was a bad idea because the colours doesn't come out correctly from the back after you shrink it. This was actually my first attempt shrinking the plastic, and holy moly! It was stressful! Because the plastic really warps and I'm mad. Like, what is this? I had to keep telling myself to trust the process, but it came out quite warped. So the second time I tried to distribute the hot air a bit more evenly, but there was a hole! Oh my god! It wasn't great, but at least the text background looks better here on this second attempt. Also remember to find something to flatten the shrink plastic. I had to DIY something, but I think the best material would be glass. Even my third attempt was painful as well because it curled up towards each other towards the end, and I was like, Only the fourth one was like decent, but it still had bumps, so I decided to just UV resin the heck out of the surface to hopefully even it out. But I realized my lighter was also in storage, so I couldn't remove the bubbles, and I'm like, why? Anyway, it did work. At least the dome makes it look and feel a bit better, but I guess it was a decent first attempt after a lot of trial and error. And so, this is